Welcome all of you. So today I will discuss about how to create a watering pail in Fusion 360. So this is actually a tutorial from Autodesk. In this tutorial, this leads you through the steps to create a beveled watering pail with handle and spout. So here you will use two commands, that is spline and sweep, to create the path and shape for the handle, as well as the construction planes, ellipses, so ellipses, profiles and loft to create the spout. So after completing this tutorial, first you have to create the initial box for the pail. So here in the screen you can see this is the initial box with a collapsed bottom and a beveled edges. Then after that you have to create the handle. So here this is the handle, you can see this is the handle. This handle is actually created with the help of these two options, spline and sweep command. Then create a spout for the pail. So this is the spout for the pail. Then connect the spout. So here I will connect the spout, thicken the walls and create a hole on the top of the pail. So here you can see this is the hole. Okay, so this is the handle, this is the initial box, this is the spout, and this is the hole at the top. Then so that's all about the today's tutorial. Initial box, first you have to create the initial box, then handle, then spout, then connect the spout, thicken the walls and create a hole on the top of the pail. So here you can see this is the completed watering pail. So I will move to the first activity, create the pail box. So the first activity is create the pail box with a collapsed bottom and a beveled edges. So in this activity, first you have to create a box. First, you have to create a box primitive on the XZ plane. You have to create a box on the XZ plane. Then next is you have to delete the bottom face of the box. Then the third one, extrude the sides of the box downward and scale the bottom edges inward. After that, fill the hole at the bottom of the box with a collapsed face. So I already explained how to fill the hole using collapsed option. Then after that, bevel the top 8 edges. So that is in the activity number 1. Then first you have to create a box, then delete the bottom face of the box, then extrude the sides of the box downward and scale the bottom edges inward, fill the hole at the bottom, then bevel the top 8 edges. So here in the screen you can see the two images. The first one, this is the initial box primitive. This is in the left side you can see this is the initial box primitive, and in the right side you can see this is the finished example with the new bottom face, bottom edges scaled inward, extruded longer sides and a beveled top. So here in the top you can see the top is actually a beveled top. So left side you can see the initial box, the primitive initial box primitive, and the right side this is the finished example with new bottom face, bottom edges scaled inward, extruded longer sides and beveled top right. In the right side you can see the finished example. So first you have to first you have to create a box primitive on the XZ plane. There are three different types of plane: XY plane, YZ plane and XZ plane. So here you have to create a box primitive on XZ plane using a command called a center rectangle. You have to select the center rectangle and you have to create a box primitive. The dimensions of the box is L is 185 millimeter, W is 250 millimeter, H is 185 millimeter, each with two faces. So first you have to create the new document. Then you have to click the create option. Then you have to click the create form. So you already know how to select this. Then you have to, from the form toolbar, you have to select create, click the box option. Okay. So this is the one, you have to click the box option. Then you have to mouse over the XZ plane to highlight in the canvas area. Then you have to click on the XZ plane to select it as the basis for the box. You have to click on the XZ plane. Then click on the center of the XZ plane to set at a center point of the box. So you have to specify the center. Click the center of the XZ plane to set at a center point of the box. So now you can see this is the center point here. Here, this is the you have to specify the center point. This is the center point. Then you have to click another point to set the approximate size of the box. Then, so you have to click another point to set up the approximate size of the box. So when you click on that, what happens is you can see this creates a form and opens the box dialog. So when you click this, first you click the center, then you click a point on the canvas. You can see a box. Okay, you can see a box with the, in the left side you can see this is the box primitive. In the right side you can see a new window, that is box window. In the box window you can see the length, the width, the height. You can see the three. What is the length, width, and height? So how many faces in the length? Now you can see two. For the length faces is 2, width faces 2, and height faces 2. Okay. So you have to enter the values of L, W, and H. The values of length, width, and height. So the values is given. This is the value. L is 185. Then width is 250 mm and height is 185 millimeter, and number of faces is 2. Number of faces 2. And you have to leave so here under the box window you can see the three options: direction, symmetry, and operation. So there is no change. Direction one side, symmetry none, operation new body. So the default values, there is no change. Then when you enter all these values, length, width, and height, you have to leave the direction, symmetry, and operation values. And now you can see the box is created with the dimensions you set. Then the next option is you have to delete the bottom portion of the box. So in the screen you can see a view cube. So what is the purpose of this? Is the view cube. You can change the views: top view, front view, right side view, back side view, bottom view, etc. So for selecting the bottom side of the box, you have to click the front right bottom corner. So in the screen you can see a circular button. You have to click the front right bottom corner of the view cube, such that you can see your box is displayed like this. You can see the bottom. Then yeah, then you have to shift click at the 4. You can see how many bottom faces: 1, 2, 3, and 4. So you can see the 4 faces in the bottom. You have to shift click the 4 bottom faces and then press the delete button, such that 4 faces are actually deleted. So in the screen you can see I have selected the 4 bottom faces using shift click. Then I will press the delete button such that these 4 faces are deleted. So now you can see in the right side you can see this one. You can see, so here you can see this bottom. Check the bottom. This bottom is deleted. Then next is you have to extrude this sides of the box downward by 10 mm. So the extrusion is 10 mm, and scale the bottom edges inward by a factor of 0.75. So you have to extrude the size of the box downward by 10 mm. So this value is 10 mm, and the scale the bottom edges inward by a factor of 0.75. So for modifying the form, which command you are using? Edit form. So you have to click the edit form. So you already know from where you have to select the edit form. Select the edit form option. First you have to select the edit form. Then you have to select the bottom edges of the box. You have to select the, using shift click, you have to select the bottom edges of the box. Then use, sorry, yeah. Then you have to use alt drag the vertical arrow. So here you can see three arrows: vertical arrow, right arrow, left arrow. You can see you have to click alt drag the vertical arrow in the downward direction such that the extrusion distance is 10 mm. You have to enter the extrusion distance as 10 mm. You have to enter the value as 10 mm, say minus 10 mm. Then next is you have to drag one of the edge handles inward for a scaling factor of 0.75. So I already this how to drag this in the previous class. If you have any doubt, you check the class of water bottle creation. You can see how to drag this. So drag one of the edge handles inward for a scaling factor of 0.75. You have to use this scaling factor 0.75. Then now you can see the finished one on the right side. This is the finished one. This is the bottom portion. 10 mm extrusion and the inward scaling factor of 0.75. Then next is you have to fill the hole at the bottom of the box with the collapsed face option. So again, in the previous class I already explained how to fill the hole. So you have to fill the hole at the bottom of the box with a collapsed face. Again, you have to click modify. For filling the hole, you have to select the fill hole option. Now you can see the fill hole window opens. In the fill hole window, you have to select the fill hole mode as the collapse option. You have to click the fill hole mode as collapse option and then the click button. So this will fill the hole by collapsing all vertices to a central point. And here you can see weld center vertices and maintain crease edges. There is no change. Leave the weld center vertices and maintain crease edges deselected. So that's all about how to fill the hole. Then next is you have to click an edge at the of the opening to create the bottom face. Then click OK. Yeah. Then the next is you have to bevel the top 8 edges using a bevel location of 0.5 and 1 segment. So here you can see, check the top face, how many edges? 8, you can see 8 edges. You have to bevel the top 8 edges using the bevel location of 0.5 and 1 segment. So here you have to return the home view. Then you have to select this option that is called a bevel edge option. You have to select this option. You have to select this option, bevel edge option. When you click on the bevel edge option, you can see the how many edges selected. So here you can see how many edges selected. So here you can see how many edges selected. 8 edges. The top 8 edges selected, and bevel location and segments. Bevel location, I have entered bevel location 0.5 and segments as 1. Then, yeah, I will set the bevel location to 0.5 and the segments to 1. Then I will click OK. So this creates 8 new faces underneath the original edges you selected. So in the screen you can see. So bevel location is the portion of the neighboring faces as a fraction across which the bevel spans. You can see that the bevel spans half 0.5 of the top face and half of the lower face with the new segment inserted in between. Segments actually determines how many segments are created between adjacent faces. Again, you have to click on the edit form. Then you have to shift click on the 8 new faces. In the screen you can see you have to select using shift click, select the 8 new faces. Yeah, so in the screen you can see. Then you have to drag the foremost corner of the manipulator inward and set the value to 0.85. When you click that drag to the inward option, you can see this. What happens is this creates slightly a more conic top surface. So here in the right side you can see this is the conic surface. So that's all about the activity number 1. Then save your work. Okay, so here you have to create a box primitive on XZ plane. Then after that you have to delete the bottom. Then after that you have extrude the sides of the box downward and scale the bottom edges inward. Then you have to fill the hole at the bottom with the collapsed face option, and you are actually beveled the top 8 edges. Then the next activity is create the handle. You have to create the handle. So create the handle. So here for creating the handle here, first you have to create a path using a command called a fit point spline. With the help of this fit point spline, first you have to create a path. Then after that you have to create a circular profile to use a sweep for the handle. So first you have to create a path using fit point spline. Then you have to create a profile. Then you can apply the sweep command with the help of this circular profile and this fit point spline. Then after that give shape to the handle using the sweep, and after that create openings to use to merge the handle to the body and merge the handle to the 2 openings of the in the body. So here yeah, in the screen you can see. So in the screen you can see, so this is the beveled box created. So you already created this beveled box. So in the right side you can see this is the finished example with the handle. So here you can see this is the handle. This handle is actually created. First you have to create a spline like this. Okay, you have to create, this is the path. Then you have to create a circular shape here. Okay, then you have to use the command called a sweep. When you apply the sweep, what happens is this circular profile passes through this path and it will reach here. So that is the use of this sweep option. Okay, so you have to create the sweep option. So here you can see first you have to create the fit point spline option, and you can see this is the path. You have to create the path. Then you have to create the profile. You can see circular profile. You can see the circular profile I have created. So here you can see a 25 diameter circle is actually created. This is the circular profile. Then click finish sketch. Now you can see a path using fit point spline, and you can see a circular path. Then you can apply the sweep option. Then you can apply the sweep command, and you have to enter these characteristics, that is profile spacing as curvature, then profile faces, path spacing, path faces, number of faces, chain selection enabled, orientation, perpendicular, distance 1, operation, new body. Okay, so when you click on the sweep option, so here you can see this is the sweep command. So sweep command is activated. So here you can see the profile. So this is, which one is the profile? Profile is the circle, and which one is the path? So the path is this fit point spline. Then you have to apply the spline command. Sweep command. When you apply the sweep command, so what happens is you can see a handle is formed. You can see a handle is formed. Okay, you can see that circular portion is passes through that path. That is called a sweep. So the handle is ready to merge to the body. Then next is you have to merge the body. Yeah. So you have to create an opening to use to merge one side of the handle to the body. So you have to click the view cube, show the right side of the body, and enable select on the toolbar. Then you have to select the 8 faces at the end of the handle and press delete to delete them. Click modify and subdivide, and then set these values in the subdivide dialog box. Insert mode exact, specify enabled, and length faces with the width faces as 1. So here with the T-spline face set to select, click the 4 faces at the back of the body. So here in the screen you can see highlighted in blue color, 4 faces at the back of the body underneath the end of the handle. Then you have to enter the length face and width faces to 2. Then you have to click OK to close the subdivide dialog, and shift click the 4 faces underneath the edge of the end of the handle. Then you have to press the delete button to delete the 4 selected faces. Then you can delete the 4 faces, 4 selected face. You can delete it. Then next is you have to merge the new opening at the back of the body with the handle opening. Then create another opening and do the same for the front of the body. So use the bridge feature to do this with the faces set to 3. You have to click the bridge option. This is the command. You have to click on modify and bridge option. Then you have to select side 1, set to select, double click an edge at the end of the handle. So here you can see you have to double click at the edge of the handle. Then next is with the side 2 set to select, then double click an edge at the opening of the body. So side 1, this end of the handle, side 2 at the edge of opening of the body. Side 1 and side 2. Then set faces, you have to set faces to 3 and then click OK. So now you can see your handle and that portion is merged. The 2 openings are actually merged. So here you can see, so here you can see the two openings, these two openings are merged. So you are actually using the command called bridge. That command is called a bridge. Then yeah, then you have to use the same workflow to merge the other side of the handle. Okay, so you have to use the same steps, previous steps, and you have to merge it. Okay, so that's all about the activity number 2. So here in activity number 2, what I do is first you have to create a path using fit point spline command. Then I will create a circular profile with the help of a circular profile. Then I will apply a sweep command for creating the handle. Then I will give shape to the handle using the sweep. Then I will create openings to merge the handle to the body. And I will merge the handle to the two openings in the body with the help of the command called a bridge command. I will use the bridge command. Then the next activity, that is create the spout. So here in the figure, you can see in the left side, this is the beveled box. In the right side, you can see the finished example with the handle. You can see the handle. The next is create the spout. Next is create the spout. So for creating the spout, you have to create a construction plane. You have to create a construction plane angled from the origin XY axis. Then after that, you have to create a construction plane offset from the angled plane. Then you have to draw an ellipse, sketch an ellipse at the center of the back of the body using the new offset plane. And this is the profile for the start of the spout. Then after that, you have to create an angled construction plane that intersects the new ellipse along its horizontal axis. After that, create a construction plane offset from the angled ellipse plane. Then after that, create an ellipse on the new construction plane to be used as the mouth profile for the spout. And create the spout using two elliptical profiles you have created. So here we are actually dealing with the construction plane. So I already explained how to use offset plane in my first class, how to use the offset plane. So here I will use another option for creating a plane that is say an angled plane, so an inclination, how to create a plane with inclination. So here this is the in the left side, you can see this is the pail with handle created. In the right side, you can see the spout. So this is the spout. So here you can see this is the spout. Yeah. So here first I will create a plane angled from the XY plane by 7 degrees. Okay. So I will create a new plane. I will create a new plane angled from the XY plane by an angle of 7 degree. So I will use this option. I will use this option called a construct. I will use this option construct plane at angle. So when you click the construct option, you can see there are so many options to create plane. So here I am using plane at angle option. So when you click the plane at an angle option, you can see plane at angle, a new window opened, and you can select the line and you can enter the angle. So I will select the x-axis. I will select the x-axis. So I will select the x-axis and then I will enter the angle as 7 degree. Then I will click OK. When I will click that, you can see a new plane is created such that the inclination, you can see the inclination is 7 degree. Then you have to create a plane that is offset from the angled plane by 155 millimeter. So for that, you have to click this offset plane option. Again, you have to go to the construct option. Then you have to select the offset plane option. Okay, and then I will first you have to click the angled plane you just created. Then you have to enter the offset value. Offset value is minus 155 millimeter. You have to enter the offset value as minus 155 millimeter. Then now you can use this offset to draw an ellipse that will be used for the base of the watering pail spout. So you have to draw an ellipse, sketch an ellipse at the center of the back of the body on your offset plane you just created. Then, so right click on sketch and you have to create an ellipse. Okay, then you can enter the width and width as ellipse height and the width of the ellipse 35 millimeter by 45 millimeter. You have to enter the values. You can enter the values. So as per the drawing, you have to enter the values. Then click the finish sketch option. Then, yeah, once again, yeah, you have to click the finish sketch option. Then you have to create a plane that intersects the horizontal axis of the ellipse with an angle of 5 degrees. That is the next step. Again, you have to click construct plane at angle. Then click on the horizontal axis of the ellipse and enter the angle as angle value is 5 degree. Click OK to create the angled plane. Then you will offset that plane by a distance of 200 millimeter. Again, you have to click construct offset plane. Then you have to enter the offset distance as 200 millimeter. Now you can see a new plane is displayed in the screen. You can see this is the new plane. This is the new plane and this distance is minus 200 millimeter. Then click OK. Now you can see the offset plane is screen. Now you can use this offset to draw an ellipse that will be used for the end of the watering pail spout. So that will be the end of the watering pail spout. Then create an ellipse on the new offset plane. You have to right click on that plane and you have to create an ellipse with the height 15 mm and a width 25 millimeter. So right click on that and you have to draw an ellipse. Okay. Then now you can see two ellipses. You can use the command name called loft. Okay, there is a command called loft. So you have to use this loft command and then you can select the two profiles, profile 1 and profile 2. Now you can see yeah, I will okay. So you can use this command called a loft command and you can connect these two ellipses, profile 1 and profile 2. So here I will enter some default values. See, you can see I will enter these default values. Okay, then I will click OK. Okay, now you can see your spout is created. Okay. Okay, so with this I will stop today's session because the time is exceeding. Okay, so you have to practice this this in Fusion 360 and you have to submit this as your today's assignment. Okay, so first you have to create the box using box primitive, then you have to uh, add some adjustments. Then next is you have to create the handle. Two commands, one command is sweep command. This is actually, the handle is actually created with the help of sweep command, and this spout is actually used created with the help of loft command. Okay, for a sweep command you need the path and the profile. So the path is created with the help of hit point spline and the profile is actually circular profile. Then for spout you are actually using loft command For using loft command, you want two sketches. One will be on ellipse on here on this side, and here one ellipse will be on here, and then you have to connect these two ellipses with the help of the loft command. Okay, so you have to practice this and you have to submit this as your today's assignment. Thank you.